In your videos, you usually say that our biomarkers improve before our skin. So my question is it possible to give an estimation to how long it will take?
That's a great question, David. And before we get into how long it takes to heal, I seriously must stress that most people never start the healing process. Dave, I'm going to repeat that too. Most people never start the healing process, even though they think they have. They maybe have done like a 30-day cleanse, or they have started experimenting with keto or plant-based or carnivore. All of this is great. And obviously it's good to address your diet and your gut health from the get-go. But, and this is a big ass but, that's not the start of the healing process, unfortunately. In some ways, you're probably, if you're doing that, you're just guessing and wasting your time, and most likely just spinning your wheels, and it's kind of an aimless approach. From my experience working with literally thousands of skin health clients, the healing timeline and the healing process starts when you do these three things that not a single client during my 10 years of coaching has made real sustainable progress without doing all three of these things. So you can really mess things up by just skipping one of them. So you have to do all three to heal, and the healing timeline, meaning how fast will it take you to heal, starts when you start doing these three things. The three things are customizing your diet based on your body's biofeedback and biomarkers, not your symptoms. Judging the protocols and the diet and the customization of everything food related does not work if you use an allopathic symptomatic approach. It does not work, unfortunately. So number one is customizing the diet based on your body's biofeedback and biomarkers. Number two, you begin the process, and I'm going to stress this word, of gentle cleansing and detoxification practices for your filtration organs, your lymph, and your digestion. And number three, you make any lifestyle adjustments with things holding you back, like poor sleep, not working out enough, stress management, and very stressful, unhealthy relationships. Until you're doing all three, in my opinion and my experience, you haven't truly started the healing process yet.
I agree. So I count my real healing as to when I started working with you.
Now that you know when the healing timeline actually starts, let's jump into how long does it take to actually heal your skin. So for most people, there are two landmarks to pay close attention to. The 6-month mark and the 1-year mark are big milestones for people who are trying to heal their skin. By the 6-month mark, most people can expect to have significantly improved health biomarkers, feeling really great energy, sleeping good, virile, strong sex drive, body fat, body weight, strength, and body shape at an all-time high, and just feeling really, really good. So at the 6-month mark, sometimes the skin has not shifted much at all for some people, while others will have almost completely healed their skin. Everyone is different. Everyone's timeline is just not the same. By the end of year 1, though, most people have gotten their skin to be very manageable and healthy. And this is based on my 10 years of coaching and my work with over 2,500 skin health clients. This is the cycle that I see over and over and over again. Some of my clients who are kind of outliers, like Cody, he completely healed his skin in a 3-month time frame. Now, this doesn't happen very often, but it's definitely possible to heal your skin in 3 months. So generally, the 3-month mark, the 6-month mark, and the 1-year mark are great landmarks to pay attention to. The first 2 landmarks, you should expect your overall health and biomarkers to be awesome. By the year mark, you should be good to go with your skin.
But it's not a year, it's a year from when you started the healing journey, not from when your biomarkers shifted into a positive space.
Keep in mind, Dave, there's 2 types of healers. There's linear healers and there's non-linear healers. I was a non-linear healer, which means that my skin, even though my biomarkers and my biofeedback was doing really, really awesome, my skin and the symptoms were all over the place during the healing process. At month 11 and a half, I had one of the worst flare-ups of my entire life. Month 1 through 3 was really brutal for me. Month 4 through 6 was not too bad. And month 6 through 9, my skin was looking really good. And then month 10 and 11, I had major, major flare-ups. And in almost month 12, I did a coffee enema, and what came out of my body was the biggest, gnarliest mucoid plaque I have ever seen. It was like a small black trash bag of disgustingness. When that came out of me, I had the biggest flare-up of my entire life. I'm talking full body and in places that I had never had flare-ups before. 2 weeks later, my skin was completely baby butt clear and beautiful, and that was almost 11 years ago now. Never since that last flare-up have I had another single flare-up or skin issue. Completely healthy, completely cured. That just goes to show that the skin will be all over the place during the healing process for non-linear healers. Now, Cody, who I talked about earlier, is a linear healer. And a linear healer, you guys are the lucky ones. Your skin health will just go from where it's at, and incrementally, as long as you're consistent in doing all the foundational practices, will just get better and better and better until it's fully healed. And gosh, those people are super lucky. It does happen from time to time, but that's not what the expectation should be. For non-linear healers is that the biggest challenge is going to be your psychology. It's not the hardest thing in the world to create habits of healthy eating and a healthy lifestyle. Once you get into the flow of that, it's actually easier than living a crappy, unhealthy life, surprisingly. The hard part is the psychological factors. Like when you're in month 3 and month 4 and month 5 and your skin is not cured yet you're doing all of this healthy stuff and you're feeling great, that's when you're gonna wanna give up. That's when most people freak out, and that's when most people just lose their minds and give up. That is the moment when you have to rely upon the biomarker and biofeedback system and ultra focus on how good you are actually feeling.
Here's the thing, I've already seen improvements in my skin. I still have eczema, but I believe it appears that I am a linear healer. I just, I took a picture, or rather, I filmed a video on how my face looked basically in April, I believe, and compared to now, the eczema it has gone way down on my face in particular.
Again, this is why we keep data and have journals and track our biomarkers, so that when we are having those challenging moments, we can go back and we can say, wait a second, actually, my digestion went from absolutely horrible 2 months ago to it's doing really good. My body fat was kind of high, now it's right where I want it to be. I was sleeping like crap, now I am sleeping great. My sex drive was 0, now it's high. The skin will follow the biomarkers and the biofeedback every single time.
Overall, compared to the symptoms I had in the very beginning, it is a lot better. So I've definitely seen improvements. I mean, the skin, let's say I was at a 1 because it was really bad at one point. I mean, now it's kind of 7.5, almost 8 even, compared to how it was. Yeah, my biomarkers have also shifted into, I mean, I'm a lot stronger. So in January, I had literally no sex drive, anything. Like, you could put the most attractive woman in front of me and I wouldn't give her a second look. That has definitely changed. My stamina, I do a weekly long distance jog, and I run for about 7 to 10 kilometers each time. Even my sleep now is better. 6 hours, 7 hours straight, which felt amazing. So biomarkers, I would say it has improved from, let's say it was at a 1. It's now perhaps a 6, maybe even 7.
There's a little thing that I made up, and this is probably complete bogus science, but it's a reference and it's a framework to understand things. I call it the pathology ladder. It helps us make sense of why the skin heals dead last. So The gut biome healing leads to the filtration organs healing. The filtration organs and the gut biome being healed leads to the hormones being healed. The hormones in the filtration system and the gut biome being healed heals the digestion and creates the foundation for everything else. Once that foundation, geez, you scared the shit out of me, little kitty. Once that foundational practice has been established, then kitty. Once that foundation is there, then we have the ability to have our hormones heal. Once the hormones heal, then the nervous system heals. Once the nervous system heals, then the immune system heals. And once the immune system heals, thanks buddy, then the autonomic nervous system and the inflammatory response, which is part of your fight or flight system, finally turns off. That's the root issue. And that happens last. After the gut biome, after the hormones, after the nervous system, after the autonomic nervous system, after the immune system, then finally that fight or flight signal that's out of whack and attacking ourselves constantly, causing skin flares, gone, and that's when the skin heals. So the pathology ladder shows that the skin will heal last, but the skin always follows the biomarkers. And that's an important thing to remember for your own psychology. It keeps you on track understanding that process. Okay, next question, Dave. Does that all make sense, by the way? Okay, good.
What is the best way to treat hyperpigmentation of scars?
So besides all of the foundational practices for skin healing, like diet and cleansing, et cetera, that you already know about, there are a few very specific things you can do to address scars and hyperpigmentation directly. I had major hyperpigmentation on my face and my elbows. It was really bad. These are the techniques I use to almost totally eliminate the issue. And as you guys see, as you've seen in my pictures, Dave, you can see me right now. There's not really any hyperpigmentation left. My elbows are good to go. My face, where there was hyperpigmentation, it's just normal skin that's pretty much all the same tone. Here's what I did to make that happen. And I have to stress this, you gotta be consistent with these practices, just like everything else. Here's the direct routine and techniques that I use to eliminate my hyperpigmentation. Number one, direct cold and direct heat, and overall heat and overall cold. What the hell am I talking about? Saunas and cold exposure are major needle movers when it comes to skin health. They are absolutely amazing, but not everyone has access all the time to a sauna or the ability to do cold exposure. Even a cold shower for some people is just not available, but you can do direct, focused cold and heat. For instance, you can take a bowl of water, add a bunch of ice, and go boom, right to your face with that ice cold water. You just did cold exposure on your face. You can do the same thing with heat. You can do the same thing with red light therapy. So direct cold, ice, and direct heat to the specific hyperpigmentation area that you are working on. Number two, amazing and very underutilized technique is castor oil packs. I have several videos going over how to do that. It's super straightforward. Number three, light therapy like the DermaBeam and the Juve actually work really well. And I was very consistent with my daily light therapy when I was healing my skin and afterwards when I finally got rid of my hyperpigmentation. A lot of these things I still do to this day too, Dave. And it's keeping everything really great. Number four, electrical stimulation. What I'm talking about here is the small battery operated systems that you see athletes using. We used to use this in college when I was playing college baseball at the University of Utah. If you had a sore elbow or a sore pec, you take these little this little machine and you'd stick these things to you and you turn on electrical stimulation and it would like massage and stimulate that area. Amazing for blood flow, amazing for circulation, really great for hyperpigmentation. I definitely think that electrical stimulation is, again, underutilized. Number five, gua sha, which is a technique where you use a very hard implement and you really kind of massage, needle, move the lymph manually. Gua sha is a super awesome technique. It can be a little painful at first, but then you get used to it and you really love it. Number six, dry brush. Dry brushing. This is super easy to do. You can get dry brushes everywhere. It takes 2 minutes. again, low-hanging fruit makes a huge difference. Get you some. You can use a combination of as many of these techniques as you can. The more varied and holistic, the better. Experiment with the ones that are kind of just feel the best and that are the easiest and that you like doing the most, and be consistent with those. With anything that relates to your health and healing your skin and healing an autoimmune disease, consistency is the key. Doing these things sporadically once in a while is not going to do anything. You've got to be consistent, and you have to give this more than 30 days. If you do this routine for 30 days and the hyperpigmentation on your face or wherever it is doesn't change at all, be more patient. Give it 6 months, give it a year. Go the distance, and you will be surprised at what you get in return.
My mom wants to take me and my younger brother on vacation. Do you think I should not go on vacation because, because there are too many risks of eating something that isn't good? Or if I were to go, let's say, to Spain, what would you recommend me doing?
Great question. Many people fear going on vacation while trying to heal. I mean, it's a very valid fear, but treat your vacations or travels in a very specific way. You can actually make travels and vacations extraordinary healing. I treat traveling and when I'm just road tripping or going on a vacation as a healing, basically day at the spa the whole time. Here's some easy ways I turn my vacations and travels that used to throw my healing schedule way off and totally throw me off path into something that actually made my healing experience go to the next level and really nurtured me. So number one, I started choosing better destinations that fit my healing needs. Good weather, lots of local healthy food that fit my diet. Number two, I slowed down and I stopped packing my vacations with schedules and things to do. Vacations are for relaxing, for focusing on healing, to stop and take a minute to just be quiet, read a book, meditate, sit under a tree, look at the ocean. You have permission to fully move at your own pace, relax, and if you need to, do absolutely nothing and be no stress. It's a fucking vacation, bro. Chill out, slow down, make it fun. Another big thing that made my vacation super healing for me was instead of partying and not working out, I stopped all the partying on vacations altogether, and I made sure that my exercise and healing routines stayed in place. Most important thing is enjoy yourself and let go of the stress. Enjoy the environment. Have fun connecting with the people and the land. Focus on your personal connections with your family members or your friends or to yourself, and simply look at it as a healing and joyful experience rather than a stress. If you're stressed about your vacation, don't go on one. Also, and here's like the final thing, depending on where you go on vacation, you can be a lot less stressed. So for instance, if you're in Italy or Greece or Spain, somewhere where they have really legitimately healthy food that's made the correct way, you may be able to enjoy some cheat meals, some breads and some things that you normally can't, and you will be perfectly fine. The key is to enjoy yourself. Don't beat yourself up if you mess up. Simply enjoy the process of having that cheat meal, move on the next day, and get back to the healthy lifestyle as soon as you can.
Well, let me ask you another one then. So cleansing. The last cleanse I did was a few weeks ago, and it was the liver gallbladder cleanse. What do you think I should do for this month? Would be month 5 working with you, basically.
Okay, so I've done the liver gallbladder flush over 100 times, and I found that the following month, taking the cleansing and the detox as light as possible and focusing more on nourishing and rebuilding is very helpful for speeding up the healing process as much as you possibly can. It gives your body a chance to nourish and rebuild after deep, powerful cleanses like the liver gallbladder flush. This gives your body a chance to nourish and rebuild after a deep and powerful cleanse. If you over cleanse and you don't nourish your body, then can lead to malnourishment and stress accumulation in the body and can trigger even more inflammation and skin health flare-ups. We don't want that, not good. The month after the liver gallbladder flush, I would do a total of 1 or 2 total enemas and maybe 1 or 2 total salt flushes for the entire month if I would do anything at all. I would focus my energy on nutrition and nourishing myself with good workouts and plenty of rest and sleep. Look at it as a rebuilding, renourishing month.
So obviously, fats and proteins are more important than carbs as a general rule. I'm now eating, as you know, white rice, and it seems to I seem to thrive on eating rice and just carbs in general. I do pretty well on high carbs. How do people generally react to eating pasta? Is it the same as rice or?
That's a great question, Dave. Does pasta trigger eczema? So if you're in Italy eating high quality homemade pasta from some wonderful grandma, you're probably going to be okay. But if you're eating pasta in the US or most other countries, I'd say most likely it's not the best food to be eating, especially during the healing process. Once you have healed your skin, you most likely can have some cheat meals, no matter what they are, here and there, and it will have no negative effect on the skin at all. I can eat all of the foods that used to trigger me once in a while, and I have absolutely no issues at all. Many of my clients who have healed their skin can eat some pasta here and there with no issue at all. When you customize the diet in the right way, you know which foods your body can actually handle, even the bad ones, and you can adjust accordingly. So a big part of customizing the diet is simply just asking the body, what do you want and what is working for you? It sounds kind of silly, but it's a very straightforward mechanism. Your body is smarter than your brain. It has inherent wisdom in your genes, and it actually knows. You feed it certain foods and the body will speak. The body will tell you what works and what does not, as long as you learn to listen. The good thing, David, is that you've already started this process, and your sensitivity and your ability to listen to what your body is saying is really awesome. That's why you're having so much success with your diet so far, and why you're having such a fast healing compared to most people.
Yeah, thank you, Rob. It definitely means a lot coming from you. Well, I believe I'd assume that you and I are more alike in that regard. I feel like, you know, when you really want something, you'll commit to it 100%. So when I started working with you, when you told me, hey, you're gonna take cold showers every single day. I mean, I hate cold showers. It's one of the worst things ever. But I still do it, you know. I just tell myself this is what this is what you got to do, David, and I'll do it. So yeah, when there's a will, there's a way, I guess. That's the truth.
The number one factor in healing your skin, the number one factor in being successful in relationships, the number one factor in being successful in life and in business is one thing and one thing only. We just have to look at our behavior resume. It's the undeniable proof of what you are doing with your behaviors, not your words. We have full potential as human beings to do and be whatever we want. My clients who heal have a great behavior resume. The people I know who never heal are always planning, always researching, always looking for a little bit more info so they can make the perfect plan and be fully prepared. Research mode is the death of progress. Your behavior resume, though, is literally the cheat code that will put you in the 90th percentile in whatever game or endeavor you choose, be it healing, relationships, finances, or your business. Your behaviors tell the tale of your life. Create a schedule that leverages your natural talents and do the fucking work. In all things in life, people who succeed have mastered the small daily habits and details. They have routines and they stick to them. Healing the skin is absolutely no different. Show me someone's behavior resume with their skin, and I can tell you within 1 minute whether they're going to heal or not.